at the end of the day, your life is about relationships and life is about people. And if it comes down to money, that's a masculine kind of mindset too. That's while
Mm.
it's also why it's kind of different to hear a woman say it's a masculine mindset. But I appreciate it.
Kevin Samuels criticized black people like a coach critiques a team. Direct, sometimes harsh, but the goal was improvement.
In our community, we need a better outlook on relationships because honestly, put you to the side. Our women, our young women should not be thinking this negatively about relationships. Our young women should not be like, oh my God, it's too young to get married and so on and so forth. No other race of women thinks about marriage and relationships the way our women do. And it's a result of how the women talk to the women. Because the men y'all don't listen to us. They're starting to listen now, but y'all don't really listen to us that much. But I appreciate you coming on, sis. We got to get another
All
person.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
See, he was coaching so you can perform better. He was teaching women how to get what they want, and the men they want what those men want. Yes, he was harsh at times, but for the most part, he handled women just like you just seen, so they can get better outcomes.
And this is why no one respects niggas, bro, because everything that they do is backwards. Bro, like, the black fatigue is real. We're tired of y'all niggas, bro. Like, you guys are fucking annoying and stupid and self-righteous, and it's like, you know, how much more are you gonna cry about your reparations and shit like that? It's
Now that's how Black MAGA call themselves helping. No solution, just anger. There's no trying to fix the culture. They're creating content for people who to hate. But it gets more clownish. You have guys like the Hoghead twins. They don't even pretend to be coaching, and sometimes they act like they're trying to help, and that it is all about accountability.
All that's been taught to them is just to hate white people, hate the American flag, just hate society in general. Just everything is not their fault. So, in a sense, you can say it's cultural. It's cultural, you know? Everything is somebody else's fault. That's why they behave that way.
You see how they're talking about black people? It's the classic flip the script move. Make it seem like black people are the ones out here with 100-year-old organizations preaching hate, like the KKK. That's why they tried to turn BLM into a hate group, to deny real racism in this country, attack the victims, reverse the roles so it looks like the oppressed are the oppressors.
Yo, man got game like a motherfucker. True indeed.
See, when I was in grad school, we learned about this concept called DARVO. It's when someone denies wrongdoing, attacks the victim, and flips the role. The real acronym for DARVO is deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender.
Offer up a black man to blame. You can get away with anything in America.
But it is a manipulation tactic used by abusers to evade accountability. And the same tactic is being applied to black people. And what's worse, Black MAGA is the ones that's doing this the most now.
There are dumb Negroes who are out here today pushing fake propagandist rhetoric that says that white people hate black people and we're such victims, when a lot of times black people are making it up.
See, this is exactly the problem, the way he's framing it. Instead of recognizing that real systematic racism exists, he flips the script, acting like black people are out here just making things up and racism is some imaginary thing. That's why they love stories like the Jussie Smollett story, so they can act like it's all made up, while actually everyday racism rarely becomes the big story. It's a classic move. Deny the problem, attack the people raising the concerns, and make the accused look like the victim. Because you guys know on this channel, it's not about what white people did or do. It's about what rich people do. I know that's right. And it's the rich people who pay Black MAGA to say things like this.
And I'm tired of niggas that ain't never been through shit complaining about shit that they ain't never been through.
Shut up. Let's watch a few clips of Kevin Samuels being critical of a black woman. But unlike Black MAGA, it's not for outrage, but with intention and for those who want growth. And not just react to his tone, but the substance of his message. Unlike Darvo, which denies harm, shifts blame, and manipulates perceptions through deception and gaslighting, this clip focuses on accountability and direct self-reflection. That's great. In this clip, he is speaking with a young woman from a good family who expressed fear around relationships, showing how media narratives have an effect even in stable environments.
Younger black women seem to think black men are these overlord tyrants, your enemies.
And that is what's been fed to you by a media that's not favorable to us. I just actually rewatched The Color Purple last night and reread some of the interviews and articles that were in the Washington Post, Chicago Tribune, New York Times, how controversial this movie. Go look at it. Go Google it. You'll see some of the actual microfiche stuff. How devastating black men said this movie was going to be to black men's image, and they just kind of got blown off. But guess what? You're still talking to me about some Color Purple stuff right now. Black men have never dominated black women. You've never been beat on by black men. Not like that.
See, Kevin is talking about how sometimes younger women see black men in a negative way because all the media images. Yeah, there are people who have personal experiences, but a lot of this stuff is subliminal. That's why he often uses The Color Purple as an example. And that's what made his harsh criticism different from what Black MAGA does. He's not only critical of us, but often shows how outside forces played a role as well. Now watch how he explains that men and women are made differently. Not to be mean, but to help the young woman understand.
The myth of the black superwoman. That's what you are. You got it all. You don't need no nigga. You don't need no man. You can handle. See, here's the thing. Apparently, you're not being able to do it. See, women aren't made for this kind of stress. Women aren't made for these kind of burdens. That's what men are made for. You break down under pressure. We rise. The very thing you're rejecting is the thing, honestly, ma'am, you sound like you need. I think what it is you resent needing it. Because you feel like it makes you weak. Submission makes you weak. Settling makes you weak. Well, ma'am, I'm going to tell you, you don't sound very strong, nor do you sound very happy. Maybe you need to be weak or meek.
See, Kevin is saying, women, you don't have to carry every burden alone. That's all he's saying. Okay? That needing support isn't weakness. He's pointing out how men and women are built differently for handling stress. That's all he's saying right there. Now, some people would say, oh, he's being hard, calling her weak. No. He's saying asking for help is not weakness. It's being meek. It can actually be a strength. You're goddamn right. See, Black MAGA, this is how you critique for growth.
Well,
did you get his? Did you get his side? Did you get?
We're pretty close.
Okay.
He's the cousin of my sister's husband, right?
So you got his start. So you got his side of the story.
I got his side of the story.
Did he remarry?
But see, the thing is that.
Did he remarry?
Right?
Did he remarry though?
No, he hasn't remarried. This is a recent thing. They went through this in the last 2 years. This is recent.
Okay.
But the thing is that when you're a black woman, I'm gonna tell you, when you're a woman, you hang in a certain circle, right? And you see your girlfriends with their husbands, and their husbands are able to provide this and that and that. Then she's comparing her life to those women. She's like, oh, well, my husband can't provide.
Hold on, sweetheart. You with your girlfriend, and they're comparing to other people. Was the girlfriend that you talk about comparing her husband who couldn't provide? Was she gorgeous?
No.
She was average.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why she got an average man, because she's an average chick. See, again, wanting men out of your range and then coming down on a man for being what he is. What's your PayPal or your Cash App? I owe you some money because you made this show. I mean, seriously, sis. I mean, you gotta laugh because you're not talking about a dime piece. You're talking about an average.
She compare herself to my sister's husband. My sister's husband is.
But your thing is, your friend ain't fine.
See, that's what they do. They always want to compare their relationships to other relationships, and that never works out at all.
She married what she could get. And ain't nobody came along and married her since. And I guarantee you, ain't nobody gonna marry her. Because they're gonna find out that backstory and be like, who is this woman that thinks she deserves all that? If you listen to I
agree. I never agree. I never agree with what she did to him because I felt like, like you said, she knew from the beginning.
Well, if you didn't agree, then why you... You have... Oh, man, you just sound like... Then if you agree, then you shouldn't have any of these down negative views. See, the worst...
What I was trying to say is that when this situation happens, this is what occurs. You know, the woman, she feels like she's settled, she gets angry, and she's, you know.
So, and this, and again, does that sound like an adult or a child?
Sounds like a child.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why you need to be under men's tutelage. That's why you need to be under men, because too many women act like children when they're given freedom.
Damn.
Thank you.
Why every time he did that, I put my hand up like that? Boy, that man is going to be missed. But you see how he is pointing out women overestimate themselves and expect more than they realistically get? It often leads to frustration and loneliness. See, this is one of the biggest problems in dating today, where average people think they deserve something else instead of accepting reality and being grateful. We all want to just look, oh, the grass is greener over there. No, the grass is greener wherever you water it. But you see how he broke that down? It's a mix of tough love and practical insight about personal expectations and choices. Unlike Black MAGA, his teaching doesn't twist narratives to avoid responsibility or shift blame. Even when he generalizes, he is emphasizing personal accountability, laying out the truth directly. Okay? It doesn't teach in a way that reinforces stereotypes. Instead, he uses the negativity as a tool. You see the difference? All right, folks, and that was the breakdown.
Broken down to its very last calm down.